6:51. I'm Michael Cohen. This is 1320 WILS. Well, if you're working on your taxes and planning to file them, one place you're not going to get any help is going to be the IRS. In fact, a new survey found that about 40% of those that called the IRS last year ended up just hanging up because no one picked up the line. To talk about how you can deal with this situation, we're joined by Joe Mastriano. He's a CPA and IRS problem specialist online. It's taxproblem.org, taxproblem.org. Joe, thank you for joining us.
Well, I'm glad to be here.
Have you ever called that helpline at the IRS?
Oh, daily we call them. This is really a good thing for taxpayers because people need to not be fooled by the IRS anymore. And, yeah, they claim the holding time is 18 minutes officially. We think it's more like a half hour or more. And we just put up with it because, if our clients need installment agreements, we have to, deal with whoever's assigned. If they don't have a go ahead.
When you get through, what kind of a person are you dealing with?
Well, you're dealing with people, again, it's automated collections or customer service. We don't deal with customer service. They have no responsibility. They have no authority to do anything. Of course, the average person doesn't know that. So we automatically ask for collections, which is automated collections. Those people have authority to bind people in agreements and things like that. So we really don't trust them. We have a job to do. We have to get an agreement to stop collection action so my clients don't get their paychecks levied or bank accounts.
Well, let me ask you this. If you are filing your taxes and you've got a question, you call the number, you get the answer from the person.
I would never take the answer.
What does that mean, though? I mean, if you file your taxes incorrectly based on that information, isn't the IRS going to understand that you made the effort to call? Or?
No, totally not. You're responsible for that. Deep in there, if you followed a particular procedure that you can document they gave you in writing and it was incorrect, maybe you can get out of some of the interest and penalties. But the other 99% of everyone that calls up and, who are you asking the question to? That's not really the purpose. That's a common misuse of the IRS services. They have a website. You want to look up law, go on your computer and go through their website, and you can read all their publications, and you can read the IRS official answers concerning items on the tax return.
Okay.
But, they twist those to their favor.
That sounds disturbing. I'm talking to Joe Mastriano, CPA, IRS specialist, online, taxproblem.org. The president wanted an extra $340 million of funding for the IRS because of the Affordable Care Act. He did not get that. How much of a problem are we going to see now that they're dealing with the ACA?
Well, it's in a lot of categories. They're collecting a lot more money, or at least they're charging us a lot more money. They've got 3,000 employees plus assigned. Identity theft is a big issue now. There's so much identity theft, and it's taken away the resources, from the IRS. So, but like I said,
let me ask you this then, Joe.
Sure.
You are filing your taxes right now. You're not sure about something. What should you do? Okay.
Well, the first thing anyone should do is hire a licensed CPA firm. They're going after preparers now. These people, they just put numbers, these national tax service companies, they just read the instructions and put numbers in the forms, and people are going to get audited by doing that. So the ideal thing is hire a licensed professional company like a law firm or a CPA firm like that.
Really? But what if you just want to file your taxes like a normal American?
Right. Well, that's what a normal American should do. Hire a CPA. You'll make more money and save more money, minus the fees. I've had cases where H&R Block charged more than us for a tax return. Those guys are gouging people now. So
what are the fees like?
Well, let me correct that if you don't mind. I don't mean H&R Block specifically. I mean National Tax Services in general.
Well, tell me, what are their fees like right now?
Well, they'll charge someone. We may have a very simple return that we're only charging someone $250 or $300 for. they'll add up every little schedule and they'll come up with $400 or $420 or something. Or I'll see a Schedule C for a self-employed business, and that Schedule C, there's only 2 numbers on it, which would have taken us, less than 5 minutes to do, and they've got $125 for that one form, things like that.
Okay.
But people who
are they ripping people off essentially?
Well, it's an opinion type of thing. I wouldn't go that far. If you make a deal with someone, if someone goes into a national office and they say, okay, based on your information, it would cost you this amount of money, and you agree to that amount of money, then it's not a rip-off. If somebody promises something they don't deliver, then that's a rip-off.
Understood. What about if you want to do this TurboTax or one of these online filings? What would you say about that? Is that a good idea?
Well, for people that don't want to pay professional fees, there's some people that, call us and they're lucky they can pay their rent and put gas in their car. So they don't have a choice. These online services that are free are pretty good because they're better than going to these free neighborhood services and getting somebody that's going to do it for free that doesn't know what they're doing. If you take the time to go online and read the form and pay attention to the return, you're better off doing it yourself.
You do your own taxes, I'm guessing?
Well, of course.
Mm-hmm. How long does that take you typically?
Oh, well, my return is simple because I follow my rules. I never, get audited. So I keep my situation pretty simple.
What do you mean? What do you mean simple? What does that mean?
Simple meaning, I'm not involved in real estate. I do have stock transactions. My company is through the corporation. I don't itemize. I paid, off the house. So what my personal tax return is my W-2, the K-1 from the company, and the stock transactions, and that's it. I don't get involved in, weird fancy deductions like people think they can do, which is another big problem. People I want to reduce my taxes to zero. Well, I can reduce your taxes to zero too, but you're going to get audited.
You're saying once it gets complex, you're drawing a lot of attention. Is that it?
Yes, correctly. But
you said the real estate's another area where they can draw an audit?
Well, yeah. Anything farms, all your let it schedule. Schedule C for self-employed, D for stock transactions, E for K1s and rentals, F for farm. Anytime you got any business.
They're interested. Have you ever been audited?
Yes, I have. It was a timing error. I paid the money, and then I took the rest of the deduction in the next year. So I guess I lost a little bit of interest and penalties because I got to take the deduction later instead of sooner.
So that you were able to resolve that pretty quickly?
Yeah.
If it is an honest mistake, does the IRS, penalty included, will they just resolve it on the spot with you?
Yes or no, because they play games too. Very recently, they charged us a penalty, and it was their error, and they didn't want to admit it. And because we had evidence, the return was filed, our corporate return was filed on time. We had the post office thing, we had the green card for the mailing, and they refused to take the penalties off. And they made us file an appeal. And once they got the appeal, they called me up and said, "Oh, yeah, no problem. We don't need to do the appeal conference. We're just going to take it off, and you'll get a letter in the mail." And I did. Oh. So they bluff people. They force people. They tell you you have receipts and invoices and canceled checks, and they tell people that the deductions are not acceptable. And they tell people it wasn't prudent for you to have that expense, so we're not going to allow it. Yeah,
that's some games to play. And it sounds like if people want someone to play back, you're the guy that can help. Joe Mastriano, CPA IRS problem specialist. Find him online, taxproblem.org.
Yes, or Google Killer IRS. That's my trademark.
Google Killer IRS. Joe, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Good to help.
You enjoyed having you here on 1320 WILS.